Welcome all in this video. Today we are going to understand about what the private cloud is. So when we say private cloud, as the name itself applies, so these are owned and operated by the organization instead of the cloud provider. So these organizations are responsible and they uses the resources from that cloud, that privately owned cloud. So they create cloud environment in their own data center, not in the data center of the cloud provider, and the organizations which is using it, they provide self-service access to the compute resources to the users within their organization. And the organizations remain the owner, entirely responsible for operation of the service they provide. So just like we have seen in the previous session, the cloud provider has more than 60 plus regions and data centers accordingly. So these are the infrastructure applicable to the cloud provider. Now when it comes to the private cloud, so what the cloud provider do or help the organization, they help in setting up a small data center inside the organizations with a look and feel same to what they are providing in the public cloud environment. Now there are some key characteristics of the private cloud. Obviously when it comes to the ownership, so this is the owner and the users of the cloud services are the same, and these are the organization instead of the cloud provider. So when it comes to the hardware which the organization has requested the cloud provider to set up inside its premises, so the owner is entirely responsible for the purchase, maintenance and the management of the cloud hardware. So it's now the responsibility has shifted from the cloud provider to the organizations who has requested for the setup of this data center inside the premise. Since it's a private cloud, the user will be the one within one's organization, and the cloud computing resources are used exclusively by this single business or the organization. When it comes to the connectivity, the connection to this private cloud is typically made over the private network, a kind of the any arrangement which their local IT team has done the setup. This can include VPN or any other access mode which is allowed in that organization. When it comes to the public access, so they do not have any provision to provide the public access. When it comes to skills, so here a deep technical skill or knowledge is required to set up the environment, to manage the environment and to maintain the environment. So now the question is when we should go for the private cloud. A common use case for the private cloud would be when an organization has a data that cannot be put into the public environment because of some legal reason. For example, they may have some medical data that cannot be exposed publicly. Another scenario may be where government policies require specific data to be kept inside the country, geolocation. So we can use our private cloud for providing any functionality to internal department as well as to the external customers in case if we have got necessary firewall exceptions rule from the networking department who has done the setup of this private cloud. Thank you.